Hi guys, I'm Toni, known as Toni Brienne on Instagram, YouTube, and any other social platform that I have.
And I'm Tyanne, and you can find me at practically.poise on Instagram, as well as Poise Media Firm on Instagram.
And we are going to be doing a little girl chat. We're going to be talking about some very important events that have been happening recently. So we're just going to get straight into it because we don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. So let's get into some of these questions that we have in regard to the Black Lives Matter movement. So let's get into this. So the first question we have is, how has the Black Lives Matter movement impacted the both of us? So I guess I'll start. So I feel like with the Black Lives Matter movement, this has been going on for so long, so it has impacted me for several years. Within these past few weeks, almost a month, I feel like it has been extreme, the amount of change that I have been seeing happening. One thing I will say that I don't like, and I guess this might go into like later questions, is that I don't like how people are trying to, Black people specifically, are trying to disregard the changes that are happening. Yes, it is a little annoying that people like Breonna Taylor's killers still have not been arrested, but I feel like the little changes that people are saying doesn't matter, it really does matter. What do you think?
So for me, especially as of recently, with everything that's been going on, it has been hitting really different. Because, you know, like she said with Trayvon Martin, like this, and even before that, this has been going on for a long time, but it never really registered to me. And I don't know if it's because I was young at the time, and now that I'm older and I can see the news and on social media and everything that's happening, it really has been hitting kind of hard, and it scares me a bit. You know, knowing everything that's going on, from the protesting and the killings and everything, it's a lot, and it can be scary. And I know, like, you know, with this going on, sometimes it can be hard to figure out how you move about it, or how to be supportive and how to be an activist and how to do it right. And trying to figure out that balance for me has been difficult. It is scary times, and it's frightening, especially for when I have my own kids.
So the next question is, what is something that we have learned about, like a story that we learned about since the Black Lives Matter movement has really ignited within the past month? So I'll let you start.
Yeah, so for me, Kendrick Johnson, so that story, very chilling, like hearing it. Toni actually is the one who told me about it, who I learned about it from, and that story was very, like, scary, especially the way that it happened and the way his body was found, and the fact that it was an accident. Like, that story is something that I definitely did learn because of everything that is going on. A lot of stories have been coming up, but that's a big one that has stood out to me, and seeing the pictures especially, and the fact that it was an accident makes absolutely zero sense to me. So that would be the story for me.
For me, there's been so many stories that I can't necessarily like pinpoint one, but one that I really think, I guess one that I could say, oh my god, I can't even think of it. Okay, it's a lake in Georgia. Let me try and look it up really quick because I want to let y'all know for sure. Okay, so I just looked it up. It was Lake Lanier, and this is in Georgia. So basically, it's now, this was a town. Lake Lanier was a town, and it was a town filled with Black people.
Oh, yeah.
And they literally, like, made the town to a lake. A lot of Black people didn't want to leave the town at the time because that was their home. They were forcing them to leave. Many did leave, but there was some that stayed. And they basically drowned the town. Everybody that was still, they didn't care. They basically killed everyone by putting water into the area. And there's literally a whole town. If you go to Lake Lanier, there's a whole town. If you dive deep enough, there's a whole town in there. Like, people said there's still train tracks, a movie theater. Like, so many dead bodies have floated up. Dead bodies from then and now. People say that that lake is very haunted and that there's a very bad aura. That's what people say. Do not go to Lake Lanier, because there's many people. I think there was like 16 cases alone last summer of people dying mysteriously. So it's a lot of creepy stuff that happened. Like, people just, like, they just disappear in the lake. But yeah, that's a really interesting story. The next question, number 3 that we have is, which we kind of mentioned in the beginning. Do you think there have been any major changes since the protests, petitions, and all that's been going on? So I'll answer that first this time around. So I feel like, which I kind of mentioned before, there have been a lot of small changes that have happened, and I think, like I said, it's upsetting me that a lot of Black people are they're not satisfied with that. And I understand, like, yes, there's so much more that needs to be done, but those little things that you think, why are they changing Aunt Jemima's name? Why are they changing the voice actors? Those are all things that should have been done a long time ago, and that it needs to be recognized and needs to be happening. So I'm gonna take everything. I'm gonna definitely, like, just be thankful that, hey, this is happening, this is working, what we're saying, our voices are mattering right now. And I think it's so important. Like, every single website I go on, whether they believe in it or not, or they're doing it for marketing techniques or not, as long as Black Lives Matter is everywhere, I want to see it.
To kind of go on top of everything that she's been saying, I've been noticing a lot of change, especially in social media. And I love the fact that even though weeks have passed since all of this started, people are still posting about it. Have we gotten
so much education been going on?
Yeah. And have some of us gotten back to our regular content? Yes, but you still are seeing different stories pop up. You're seeing different petitions. You're seeing different places where you can donate money. And I love the fact that that's happening.
So the next question is, have black women been treated differently than black men within the Black Lives Matter movement?
I know you have a strong opinion on this, so I'm going to let you go first.
So for me, I feel like when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement, they tend to, it tends to really go towards black men, and people like Breonna Taylor are not getting the justice that they deserve when she was literally murdered for being wrongly accused. She was sleeping in her room. Yeah. It concerns me. Black men definitely do get more the attention. I honestly feel like it's because black women, we give it to them. Yeah. When it's like us, when something happens to us, it's hush hush.
No, yeah. So I feel like when you think of the Black Lives Matter movement, you think of the black men who are shot by police and who suffer with police brutality. And I'm not taking away from the fact that that is something that happened. And I'm sure that it does happen to men more than it does to women. So
last but not least, we're going to talk about Karens. How do we feel about Karens? So I don't know if you guys have known, but like as of lately, there's been like this new term for white women that are entitled. So it says Karen is a pejorative term used in the U.S. and other English-speaking countries for a woman perceived to be entitled or demanding beyond the scope of what is considered appropriate or necessary. A common stereotype is that of a racist white woman who uses her privilege to demand her own way at the expense of others, which is like a perfect example. And it's funny that it pops up now because now it's used as a slang term, which is funny. So with this Karen stuff, oh my God, there are so many white entitled women, and I'm not even, let me not even say, because like I feel like there's a lot of white women that have been using their voice and, you know, accolades to you.
Yeah. What I don't understand with a Karen, for example, like you said, wrong is wrong. You call a spade at the end of the day. Yeah. Regardless of color, regardless of what your family believes or thinks, wrong is wrong.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Toni Brianne, ToniBryanne, on all my social media platforms. If you want to check me out, definitely check out my YouTube channel. I talk a lot about this stuff. And
if you want to keep up with me, just follow me on Instagram at practically.poise. I talk all about positive mindset development, and I also am a social media manager. So if you have a business and you need some help with your social media platform, follow me at Poise Media Firm on Instagram.
Hopefully we'll see you guys in the next video next month.
Yeah.
All right. Bye guys.